The whole world is divided about the color of the dress.
I'm Caitlin, this is Grace, and we are responsible for that dress.
Caitlin and Grace, was it gold and white, or was it blue and black?
Definitely blue and black.
This is the dress that took over the world. Tell us the story behind the dress that took over the internet.
In the weeks leading up to my wedding, my mum sent me a picture of a dress that she was intending to wear. And I said, why is my mum wearing a white dress to my wedding? So I showed it to Kia, my husband-to-be, and he said, well, it's not, it's blue and black. We showed it to his parents and they saw blue and black, so I kind of thought I might be going insane.
So this is a photo of your mum wearing it here.
Yep.
And it looks pretty blue and black to me.
What makes us see it differently? Why do some people see it white and gold, and why do some people see it blue and black?
Have you actually listened to the scientists who tried to explain it to us?
No.
Well, me either. Well, we did listen.
It's really complicated.
Neither of us are particularly sciencey guys. You
Wow,
know?
speak for yourself.
Well, it's something to do with the cones in your eyes. It's how the light hits the dress
And then reflects into your eyes.
So it's
Okay, that
different
makes
perception.
sense.
So I posted it on my Tumblr page, and it got a little bit of attention from my friends. And then one of my other friends sent it through to BuzzFeed. Me and my brother went to sleep, and we woke up to about 1,000 messages from our friends saying you need to look at Twitter because the first 3 trending topics were the dress, blue and black, white and gold. So that was bizarre enough. And then kind of half an hour later, I had a phone call from somebody trying to patch me through to the Ellen show. I had to get in a car, drive down to Glasgow Airport and fly out to LA within the next 6 hours.
What happens next?
Getting on the plane from Glasgow to LA, the 2 women next to me opened their newspapers and it was my face on the second page. While we were in LA, a German TV company had flown to Colonsay on the island where they got married. But because all of us were elsewhere, they had nobody to interview, so they interviewed her dad and the postman.
Do you go back to Glasgow after LA?
I went to Cologne to be on the German show. When we were in Cologne, I got a notification through my phone that I'd been added to the Time magazine 30 most influential people on the internet list. I scrolled down and it was Caitlin McNeil, but it was just a picture of the dress.
Is it weird having made such an incredible impact on the world, despite very few people knowing that it was you guys that did it?
I think I'm happy it's that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody sort of assumes that we were coining it in and we had all these amazing experiences and that we were famous, but it wasn't like that at all. Keira and I had made the decision to just do the one thing, which was the Ellen show, so after that we just kind of carried on with our lives.
And you're lucky, I suppose, in a sense you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Was your mum ever irritated that the dress wasn't on her while she took the photo? Because she would have been the most famous woman in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things we would have done differently if it happened now. You know, we didn't have any guidance or media training or anything, so, and it was quite frightening at times.
Where was it frightening?
The pressure, I think,
pressure.
and the volume of people contacting me for a month was just, my phone was just ringing off the hook all the time, my emails, all my social media accounts, just constant. People offering, some sums of money to people just asking if they can use it in books or medical journals, loose women, things like that.
We could have absolutely milked it and gone on every single thing going.
Yeah.
And with hindsight, I wish we'd done a wee bit more.
But you've kept it to the premium shows like Ellen, Dash into the
Exactly.
Limelight. We really appreciate
As
that.
I said, this is the only interview I've done since the Ellen show.
Who owns the photograph, the rights to the
My
photo?
mum.
And so has she managed to actually monetise that in any way?
No.
This is a photo that's probably been seen by, 1 in 5, 1 in 3 people in the world. It's been seen by a lot of people. Your
Yeah.
mother's not made any money over the
Not
copyright.
really, no. I mean, nominal amounts. Yeah, and I think people have this perception that obviously we would have been famous, we would have made money from it, and I wish that was the case, but it hasn't been like that.
Why do you think this was such a big moment on the internet?
I think because it's literally never been seen before.
People didn't believe that other people were seeing it differently.
Yes.
So it was causing actual fights. And there were some people that in my, especially my Tumblr DMs, who were actually quite angry with me.
Yeah.
Ultimately Bedressed was subject to 4.4 million tweets in 24 hours.
Can I just say, that was in 2015?
Yeah.
Before Twitter was
As big as it is now.
Yeah.
Because BuzzFeed kind of were the first ones to get a hold of it and the first ones to post about it, really. A couple of days later, they posted a photo of their table in their break room full of champagne bottles because they had broken all of their records within 48 hours.
Do you ever regret the fact that a huge number of people made a huge amount of money out of that
Yeah,
image and
absolutely.
none of them was you?
Yeah, and particularly my mum, who took the photograph and owned the dress. Those opportunities were taken away from her, essentially. We're not wealthy people. It would have been nice to benefit from it slightly more.
Do you ever wish the whole thing had never happened?
No.
It was too much fun.
They went on Ellen!
Went on the other show.
We got to see some new places and do some new things, and
It's just a real cool chapter for the memoirs as well.
And so where is the dress now?
My mum's ex-partner has it.
Is it Under lock and key?
I think so.
So your mum's ex-partner has stolen the dress?
I will say stolen, it's in his possession.
I think we're all past the point of thinking that making more money out of it is worth any more sort of strife.
We do sometimes joke about the curse of the dress. I said we should write a musical about it. I think it'd be hilarious.
Tell us about the curse of the dress.
Well, I'm getting divorced.
Your mum split up with Paul.
My mum split up with her partner. A few little fallouts along the way. Well, it's 8 years ago now, so, you know, I'd like to say it's all water under the bridge. Certainly it's for us. There was a really great campaign about domestic violence as well, in which the dress was used. It was a picture of a woman wearing a white and gold version of the dress, and it said, "Why can nobody see black and blue?"
So there was some really good stuff come out of it as well. It's been used in a lot of medical journals, a lot of books have used it for...
I mean, it changed the
traditional
way
stuff like that.
people looked at the world, really.
Long after you've gone, the dress will live. How does that make you both feel?
It's kind of hard to describe. Like, sometimes I get totally overwhelmed by it, thinking about the fact that, yeah, like, my grandkids might be talking about it. And it's just really cool to imagine, as it was at the time, that people all around the world are, you know, bringing it back up on their phones to show somebody else or explaining it to a wee kid or something like that. I think it's just so cool.
There's a quote here I will read you, which I think rather sums up the whole thing nicely. This is from the journalist at BuzzFeed. "It went from a New York media circle jerk to international. People were having conversations in like Spanish and Portuguese and then Japanese and then Chinese and then Thai and then Arabic. It was amazing to watch this move from a local thing to like a massive international phenomenon." Thank you for giving the entire world a great long weekend arguing with our grandparents about the colour of a dress. And thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Caitlin and Grace, everybody!
Very good, very good, very good, very good!